Right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's Meet the Airline with Brandon Davis from Air Transat, and obviously me, Angela Loftus from Faremine. So the purpose of these are obviously to bridge that gap between agents, tour operators, and the airlines. So obviously we sell the fares. But it's nice to get that insight into what's behind them fares, which is what Brandon's here to do today. So Air Transat do pride themselves on being a family-friendly airline, and that's like your unique selling point, isn't it, Brandon? So Brandon will tell you much more about that. So I'll just quickly tell you the fare types that you will find from Air Transat on the Faremine system. So we've got the three main ones. So we've got the published fares, obviously they're the non-negotiated ones, and then we have the tour operator, the IT fares, and also the seat only. So what we'll do when we're finished, when Brandon's gone through his slides, I'll just give you a really quick demo on how to pull through the Air Transat fares on the Faremine system using the flexible dates matrix. Okay, so short and sweet. Brandon, I'll hand over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Angela. I'll get my screen shared here. Let's see, there we go. Hopefully that should appear.
That's
there we are. Everybody see a nice, lovely A321 long range there?
I do.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, thank you very much, Angela. And as already introduced, I'm Brandon from Air Transat. Thanks for taking some time with me today to learn a little bit more about our airline. I know airline product training is the most exciting thing to do in travel. So I do appreciate you taking the time, and I'll look to be as brief and concise as possible. So Air Transat, coming up to our 40th anniversary. And in terms of the history and where we come from, we are very much, or were very much, the Canadian TUI or Thomas Cook. So a tour operator, mostly selling to Canadians going on holiday either to the Caribbean or to Europe. But of course, these days we've restructured quite a bit of the airline, and it sits quite separately to the tour operator, but you can still go into a Transat shop in Montreal or Toronto and get your Cancun holiday or Jamaica all-inclusive, or go follow the flag around Italy and do those types of things. So that's very much where we've come from, and I'll tell you a little bit about where we are now. So in terms, has the slide changed there? There we are. In terms of our operation here in the UK and Ireland, you can see we have direct flights from both Gatwick, Glasgow, Manchester, and Dublin, all into Toronto. And then we also have a Gatwick into Montreal. Those all go up to as much as double daily through the summer. London Gatwick continues as a daily service through the winter, while the other routes are more of a not a skeleton service, but a twice a week, sometimes down to once a week. Again, middle of February, those times a year. And we're going to need to click there. So in terms of the fleet, just two aircraft types, which are both Airbus. So we've got the 330, which are the wide bodies, and then the 321 long range, which is one of the latest and greatest from Airbus, which is the kind of standard 3x3 that you'd be so very used to from the A320s. And again, there's the fleet there. A little bit about the hard product. Two classes on board, what we call club class. However, don't be confused, it is a premium economy product, a very good premium economy product, but not club as in BA club. Just 12 seats in there, and then the economy class, as you can see below. We'll move on. I'll talk a little bit about each one. So economy class, in terms of the hard product, it is very much on par with any of our competitors, Air Canada, BA, Virgin, in terms of the seat width, the pitch, the recline, in-flight entertainment and meals, all included as you would expect with a full-service airline. And then moving on to the club class, a very good premium economy product. As mentioned, just the 12 seats in club class. Again, specs wise, on par with what you would expect from the major competitors. But I think one of the differences that we can offer here is that they are the best seats on the plane. So all the crew are fussing over you a little bit more. You've got your own dedicated cabin at the front of the plane. So a nice, small, quiet cabin at the front. And it is all those privileges you have when flying premium. So the baggage, the check-in counter, everything that you would expect from that point of view. And you're not wedged in after business class. So you are the first thought of the crew on the aircraft. So a really good product. The feedback we have on club classes is fantastic. Now we do have some great kind of seating options as well. With your standard seats, we've got some seats for lovers with the 2x2s, the front of cabin seats if people want to be near the front, and then we also do have some extra leg room seating. So I have included a couple of seat maps here so you can have a look, but this will be for you to be able to reference as you go forward as well. You can have it on file. So you can see there towards the back on the 330s are the seats for lovers that I mentioned earlier, which are nice little 2-seat options. And then you can see your club class at the very front of the aircraft, 3x3x3 across the economy class, which means that there's lots of room in there. The aisles are nice and wide, plenty of bathroom space for everybody. And then looking at the 321s, just like a nice stretch limo version of an Airbus 320, 3x3 all the way down, all of the latest air filtration. I think this is one of my favorite aircraft to fly on, just because when you arrive, you still feel fresh. Because the light effects and everything that comes along with it, it really does make a difference. When you compare it to some of the older 787s or 777s that you do get with some of the other airlines. Keep pushing across here. Now, baggage. Standard for every single booking, even if it's a no bag fare, is a 10-kilo carry-on with your usual dimensions, plus a personal item. The classic Ryanair bag, if you would. And then you've got the option from there to add checked baggage. Which is, again, your standard kind of 23 kilos, 50 pounds that you would expect with a scheduled airline. We do 5 different fare types, and this kind of goes in with as you see with a lot of airlines these days. So the eco budget fare is your no bag fare. This is going to be your most competitive fare in the market, the one that you'll see when you do meta searches, etc. As I mentioned, it does include your 10-kilo carry-on, and it does include a briefcase or purse as well. But from there, you'd be looking to either add a bag, as many as you like, or seat selection and so on. The Eco Standard is our bag inclusive fare. And that's if you're booking an IT fare, that's what you'll be getting. So the same inclusions that you see there. From there, we've got a Flex, which, as the name would imply, offers a Flex, and then a Club Standard, which will always include the baggage, and a Club Flex as well. All those fare types are available if you're booking in the GDS for whatever suits your passengers' needs best. We do have a premium bundle as well called Option Plus, and this is basically throwing every little bit of extra, every ancillary we have into a nice package, which I think usually starts at about £84. So it's going to include all of that priority boarding and baggage, the comfort kit, a little bit of extra snack and drink. Basically, the crew go and put a little sticker on your seat at the start of your flight so that they know you're getting all the little extras that come along with Option Plus. A great option if you've got somebody who maybe isn't a very confident flyer and needs a little bit of extra attention and help, but is still looking to fly in economy class. Or if you've just got somebody who's got extra bags, it'll cost about the same for the extra bag to get all of the bells and whistles included as well. From there, we are, as Angela mentioned, a very family-friendly airline. That kind of comes from our tour operator background. You know, we've been bringing people on, Canadians on holiday, for almost 40 years. And, you know, when you're the tour operator as well as the airline. You need to make sure that your passengers are well taken care of. So we do have a kids club. We've got a nice little welcome pack that includes a lot of kind of little extras like coloring books, kids meals, which are there as standard, which are a little bit blander than normal and kind of all those bits that kids enjoy. They get free headphones included with that welcome pack. And the most important thing is that any child fare booked with an adult will be seated with their adult, with their guardian, whoever they're traveling with. So there's no need to go and purchase seats to make sure the family stay together. So that's any child up to 11, so booked on a CHD type fare, they will be seated with their parents and they can rest assured that they won't have any issues being separated. I shall keep going here. Group travel. We do have a groups travel department here in our office in London. So we're able to kind of offer full service in terms of your groups. I won't break down the terms and conditions there, but it's a big part of our business here in the UK is groups to Canada. We get a lot of team travel, a lot of school travel. So if you do have a group that needs to get to Canada, and I am thinking of the World Cup next year as well, please do get in touch, and we'll be very happy to kind of get you a quote turned around very quickly. Now, next, I'm going to talk about our partnership with Porter Airlines. Porter Airlines is a Canadian success story, airline about 15 years old, founded on the ideals that people will pay an extra $20 or $30 to have a bit of room and some good service aboard, which of course a lot of domestic airlines in North America aren't great at. So starting out with just a couple of aircraft from the Toronto Island airports 15 years ago, Porter have now expanded greatly. We've gone into kind of full partnership, full joint venture, and the products really complement each other. So I'll show you a little bit about what that looks like and what you can see on the map here. So you can see those lines with our UK and Ireland routes into Montreal and Toronto. And then if you look at every little yellow dot on that map, that is a Porter route that we can connect with. So right across Western Canada into the regional United States, Eastern Canada as well. And coming this winter from Porter will be a number of winter sun destinations as well in the South and Caribbean. The partnership is about 1.5 years old now, so we've thankfully been through a lot of the teething issues last summer in terms of the first time that the two airlines have come together. But when you find it in the GDS, it'll be as a TS code share number, so look for a TS with 4 digits after it. Bags are checked through all the way, single ticket all the way, everything you would expect with a connecting airline. And a wonderful service aboard as well, which I can tell you a little bit more about now. After mentioning some of the Western Canada destinations and how well they connect up with our UK services, but do always keep an eye on the GDS. We're, again, adding more flights that connect all the time, and that connectivity is just getting better and better in the network wider as we go forward. There we are, a little bit about the in-flight experience with Air Transat and Porter. So, as mentioned earlier, you've got your Air Transat economy class and everything that comes with it, as I mentioned earlier. And if your passengers are booked on a TS code share flight with Porter in economy class, they will then have on the Porter flight Porter Classic. As mentioned, these are Embraer jets, so you've got 2x2 with the aisle down the middle. So no middle seats, a little bit of nice leg room, and a snacks, beer and wine, all included with the flight, even if it's just an hour or two onto Montreal or Winnipeg or something like that. Also, Porter has free Wi-Fi in all aircraft, which we are hopefully going to be there next year with Transat. But certainly on those regional connections, they'll have free Wi-Fi access. Moving up to the club class. So if your passengers are booked in our premium economy club class, they will then be booked into Porter Reserve, which isn't a different seat, but the front few rows of the aircraft do offer extra leg room. They get the priority access, the baggage, and a fresh meal on any flight over 2.5 hours. So if it's a Vancouver or a Calgary, it will be like a full service experience in terms of their flight in flight. That is just about it. But I am very happy to share that I've got a special announcement just in the last week. You may have noticed we've won the Skytrax World's Best Leisure Airline a few times in the past, including last year. However, just last week, we won it again, which is a lovely little bit of recognition from our passengers, because that who is voting on the Skytrax Awards. Something we're very proud of. We are, as mentioned, a family-friendly airline, a leisure airline, but service is service. And by being the world's best leisure airline, it's just an indication of what our crew are doing on board to make sure every passenger is well taken care of. So that is about it from me for now. This is our UK and Ireland team. You can see me there with the freshest, newest picture among the bunch. But there were a small team here based in London. We're always on hand to help if you have special requirements, if you have any issues that need to be overcome. And happy and ready to support your sales with Transat. Thank you very much.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Brandon, for that. And congratulations on the Skytrax Award as well.
Thank you.
World's Best Leisure Airline. Definitely something to be proud of, that. So right, what we'll do, I'll just quickly move over onto the Faremine system. I do know a lot of you are GDS users, but it's just to show where how we pull in the Air Transat fares using the flexible dates matrix. Okay, just bear with me 1 second. So hopefully you will be able to see that. Can you see that okay?
Oh, it's just coming up for me. There it is.
Yep.
There we are. Right, lovely. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll just very quickly, most of you might be familiar with the Faremine system, you may not. We do more in-depth training on the Faremine system when we do the lunch and learns. Obviously today is more about Brandon and Air Transat, but this is just, we're just going to quickly pull up a London-Toronto fare. So we'll head towards the winter. Okay, and what you can do at this point, if you just wanted to pull up all the Air Transat flights, you can go to the preferred airline down here. Here we go. We'll keep it with one adult, and if you just click on the flexible dates matrix here and then search, and it will bring up all the fares in and around the dates that we've selected. So that will give you 3 days prior and 3 days afterwards. So you'll be able to see when the cheapest fares are, if you do have clients that can be flexible with the dates. So obviously they're all quite like for like here, but the centre date is the one that you've chosen, and then all the pale oranges. I mean, you can see how competitive these fares are. I mean, they're just brilliant at them. And then what you can do, if you hover over, it will tell you, if you click on them here, it changes the selection below, so it'll tell you which fares are actually available, and you can see if they include baggage or not. Obviously Brandon talked about the different 5 different variations of fares. You can see them by looking at the upsell tool. So here we have if there's a little aeroplane in the corner here, it means that upsells are available. So if we just expand the flight there and click on upsell, and it will give you all the different fare types and what's included within that. So this is the one that we're on at the moment because we've got a 0 value here. And if you scan all the way through, it will go up to the Club Flex. Okay, so yeah, so it's make sure you are using the upsells and the flexible dates really to get the best fares you can out of the Faremine system. Obviously a lot will be booked through the GDS anyway. And that's as far as I'm going to go with this. Normally we'd go all the way through, but for today we won't be doing. Okay, so I'll just stop sharing that. So now we would normally just do a quick Q&A. So if anybody's got any questions for Brandon, speak now. Is there no questions? I'm presuming this is because Brandon's done such a good job explaining everything,
good job.
that we don't have any. So Mal, did you have a question?
No, that's very informative already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Air Transat, you're very good airline, and like I say, the family friendly. It's what you want when you're traveling with children. You know, and the staff obviously take very good care of the kids as well. So, and obviously now with this Porter joint venture as well, you know, it's just means you can do more, go more places, so better connections and things like that. So yes, make sure when you are traveling North America, Canada, you look at your Air Transat fares as well. Just remember that they are there. So right then, okay, well, if there's no questions then, I just want to say a special thank you to Brandon for giving up your time and presenting to everybody today. It was really, really informative. And thank you to everybody else as well for giving up your lunchtime to come in and learn about Air Transat. And yeah, we'll enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you so much, Brandon and Angela. See you soon.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'll just stop that recording now. So